Welcome to the bold analysis. Someone asked a question, and it was a member of parliament from Nyeri who asked and was getting wary that Rigathi Gachagua could have been having a personal difference with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. By why has a personal difference with Uhuru Kenyatta has been put as a community problem? It's very difficult, by the way. Yeah? I don't know. Anyone from Mount Kenya should tell us. Your honest assessment. Let's have this discussion. Do you think Rigathi is going after Uhuru Kenyatta because Uhuru Kenyatta underdeveloped Mount Kenya, or their problem is about a personal problem? It should not be lost on us that Rigathi had a very long relationship with Uhuru Kenyatta and worked as Uhuru Kenyatta's PA at one point. He was Uhuru Kenyatta's PA when Uhuru Kenyatta was the Deputy Prime Minister. At the same time, Musalia Mudavadi was also a Deputy Prime Minister. So, by that time, Rigathi Gachagua worked with Uhuru Kenyatta. And they were together until in the 2017, when then they parted ways. Now, if you listen to messaging of Rigathi Gachagua, he's been complaining to Uhuru Kenyatta, saying in his most statements are on that alitutesa kama viongozi. That's number one. Number two, hakukubali kiongozi atoe kichwa, akitoa kichwa anakatwa. That's number three. I don't know, we were arrested and trumped up charges. Three things. Now, for someone in the mountain, let's talk this conversation. A Kenyan MP, a UDA MP was, a Mount Kenya MP was actually bringing it forth and was saying, can't the mountain see that what is actually a personal problem, these individual MPs, their personal problems with Uhuru Kenyatta seems to have been packaged as community problems. And it's a community problem because it's about them. Some of which things that are being spoken about has been about, and look at something like the price of milk and coffee and tea. It did not start with Uhuru Kenyatta. And even when Mwai Kibaki was there, the coffee, tea and milk sector, subsector, recommendations and the task forces have been there since the days of Moi. Came Mwai Kibaki, and then even Uhuru Kenyatta won. And that they were all there, but immediately at the fallout between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta has become more of a sudden a very bad person. So they are hidden. There could be some hidden agenda in what is seen as trying to portray Uhuru Kenyatta as a community problem. That has escalated to an extent of his farm being attacked by people allegedly sponsored by the politicians, and even though there is a matter that is still under investigation. So this is it. I want to look at it this way, that Rigathi Gachagua is walking in a very tightrope, that the personal problems with Uhuru Kenyatta that are actually personal, and they successfully propelled him to be the voice of the mountain towards the last general election, and actually marshaled the community against Uhuru Kenyatta's choice, who was Raila Odinga, for them to support William Ruto, has escalated even at them being in the power. So, what has happened? What is the hidden secret? Why a personal problem has been put as a community problem? What, ladies and gentlemen, what do you see? What are you seeing? You know, and William Ruto played a very good trap, told him, you be in charge of milk, coffee and this, but knowing very well that it was going to be a very long day for him to even address those challenges in those subsectors. But finally, the reality is catching up with this, that this is not it. So I want us to look at it in another angle. What is the scenario? What exactly is the reason why What will be a personal problem? How does it thrive? There is something that is going on. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. Thank you very much for those who support us from every part of the country. And I want to ask you kindly, share our video. Just confirm if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe. I also need to do some disclaimer. You know, I'm shooting this video at home, and it's a place where borders in a pita, and even the, you know, these, you have some livestock here. So the natural ambience will always be here. Sauti za mbwa, kondoo hapa, so kindly bear with me. I know when we get to the office tomorrow, we'll have a different feel. Now, this is the reality. There are commercial interests in the mountain. And the time Uhuru Kenyatta was a president, for those 10 years, Uhuru Kenyatta really spread his wings in terms of the commercial interests. And in fact, in subsectors like tea, let me just say in the subsectors like milk, there are those who would want to venture into those areas. And those who would want to venture to those areas maybe are realizing that there are a lot of sealed loopholes. The loopholes that were of entry are really sealed. And those who are already in it, the commercial spaces seems to have clogged it up. So what can be treated as a move to lower the price of milk to the farmer so that the farmer benefits in the mountain, that can be said in the podium. But in real sense, it's trying to alter the status quo so that when the old status quo is altered, the other commercial interests can also get entry. That will be in it. Because, for example, if you look at the issue of the issue of the land question has come up when at the attack of the Northland City. And youths are mobilized to go and attack that farm. Probably they are going to be given land here and there. But that cannot be it. That cannot be true from reality. Because getting land there, you need to go to court. Get a court order and do it. It's not something you just wake up and do. So look at the way the dummy thing was done. Youths being sent there. They are subdividing the land. You know, to some very funny things that are done there. So probably there is a personal problem that this man of expanded his wings. Uhuru left power when he has had investments in the banking sector, investments in the media, investments in the milk, and even the investments in the telecommunication. Look at Safaricom, the M-Shwari project that is being implemented by Safaricom and another bank, which was heavily linked to the former president. So these are some of the things going on, but the mountain needs to see the bigger picture, that it is not exactly what is being said in the podium. I am not shocked, and I can say without fear of contradiction, speaking from the slopes of Siaya, that the issue of the milk and the coffee are not going to be solved by the political activism and the poetic talk that is going on about those issues. There are things that you don't just solve by talking. There are things that need more action, and actually, according to me, they need diplomacy. Ukienda na chest thumping, you can't solve. You know, business interest. You know, money can always tilt things. Money can influence everyone. In fact, money can help Ruto, can make Ruto fall out with the Rigathi on some of these things. So, the one thing that everyone does not want to talk about is the deep commercial interests. I can tell you. The deep commercial interests are at play, and it is what is causing some of these issues to happen. Number two, when, as much as you see the Rigathi Gachagua and something big personal, is Rigathi knows very well that after William Ruto, even if there is going to be a fallout today so that he vies for presidency in the next general election, he knows very well that he is harboring presidential ambitions. Now, these presidential ambitions are actually anchored on the politics of Mount Kenya. With Uhuru Kenyatta being there, he's trying to push Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics. It is not about Uhuru has not developed the region. There is a very coiled, consistent strategy that being laid that to make sure that Uhuru is not out of politics. Uhuru is out of politics. Because the moment Uhuru is in politics, Uhuru is a factor that can bankroll and finance a campaign, even in the next election. And with that, when you create it, you can easily make it. He's also a bogeyman. And we also want to be seen as the man that is now calling the shot. Lastly, I would say there are only 3 reasons why Rigathi wants enmity with Uhuru Kenyatta. Enmity with Uhuru Kenyatta is a strategy that is being laid to make sure that there is you widen the rift between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. If there is something that if Rigathi says today, he will be very worried, is a situation where William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta are speaking the same language. But when himself he becomes an enemy of Uhuru, he actually believes that William Ruto will have no option but then look at Uhuru Kenyatta as one of his greatest enemies. That enmity is important to him because when these people can't see eye to eye, that will mean that William Ruto will still depend on him. He actually wants that over-dependence on him, because when that is there, he will have a political discussion at Ruto's succession that I've also made you who you are. Ruto told us that he made Uhuru who he is. He made Ruto president. A narrative that some very myopic Kenyans bought. That is the narrative that one, Rigathi Gachagua, is trying to make. I don't know. And this is my point, this analysis. Mount Kenya should not allow themselves. A personal problem with Uhuru Kenyatta should not be packaged as a community problem, so that you think that Uhuru is your enemy. I think you need to open your eyes and see that.